WTL.
It's time!
WTL.
I think we got a show. Oh, yeah, we got a show.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Classen, joined by
The J.O.
the J.O. Obviously follow you on X and all your social media. You've been on fire. You've been on fire. You got some interesting guests running it back on the Oscars.
Yeah, Grant Pearson, he's our movie expert. Third annual Academy Awards preview just dropped.
Wow.
Always one of our most listened to episodes of the year.
Well, it's kind of gained traction as far as a betting platform now too. All these award shows. We might have to dip our toes into that sometime.
I'm totally down. It's so much fun looking at who's going to win, who's got momentum. It actually is kind of a fun little season to see who's gaining momentum at other awards, ceremonies and how that's going to translate.
Who's sitting down, who's clapping, who's not clapping. That's where we need to go with all that.
That's where the action is. Yeah.
Right. A little bit more predictability. Who's not going to clap? Well, we got to get to some hot news here, and I feel like it's been bubbling up for Nebraska. And no matter what is coming out of the spring practices, and great, we're having a spring game, and I mean, the Huskers are trying to do everything they can to put a positive spin on this. But the 20,000 Husker podcasts out there,
they're discussing it. Yeah,
they're not buying it.
Yeah,
they are not buying it. They are stuck right there. Before we get into some of the negative Nancy stuff, I do want to tip of the cap to the university. Because as a whole, we are on fire. In fact, the rifle team is ranked second in the nation.
Here we go.
Men's gymnastics, third. Yes. Bowling holding down sixth. Like they're always a top 5, top 6 team. Bowling.
I've actually seen, too, where they're talking about our bowling facility, that maybe we have one of the best in the country.
For sure.
I mean, that tells the story right there.
Yeah, it's so well-rounded, in men's and women's. Wrestling, 6th in the nation. Softball, 10th in the nation. Already have knocked off 2 number ones, ranked number 1. Texas Tech in Texas. Great start for softball. Men's basketball ranked 12th, obviously. And then women's indoor track and field currently ranked 13th in the nation.
Go Big Red.
So, yeah, Troy Dannon, take a bow. There are some good things going on. It's just that the headlines always go back to the football team.
It always comes back to the football team, and it's always negative when it comes back to the football team. But there's so many good things going on.
There really is. And the football team, unfortunately, just can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
And it's been a reoccurring theme for, what would you say, 15 years?
Or so, yeah.
20 years? I don't know. I mean, doesn't Coach Rule have the exact same record as Mike?
Yes, he does.
19-19 after 3 seasons. So, okay. But we are still being impacted by what's known as, and this is, just type in the hashtag, the Eckler effect.
The Eckler effect, okay.
We are still being impacted by Mike Eckler leaving and what he had to say on some talk shows out in L.A. And just, once again, this was bubbling up throughout the season where, Rule was running away from him and not giving him high fives, after made field goals and blocked punts. And everyone's like, what's going on?
And we joked about that.
Yeah.
Hey, Rule, your guy's excited. You got to get excited with him. And he's just said, I'm going to celebrate, but don't touch me.
Yeah. He tackled me once. He missed me and high-fived me in my face once. I'm just not really about that.
Yeah.
So, and then to throw a little bit of salt in it, Eckler leaves for USC. And then the very first thing that comes out is he was disappointed in how unengaged Matt Rule is. And I kind of go back on him on this one because I like it when a boss doesn't bother me.
100%.
Leave me alone. Don't come in my room. And if he is looking over your shoulder, I think that would annoy you more, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. When you're a boss, there's nothing better than having department heads or other leaders in the store doing their job.
Yeah.
And leading just the way you want them to, being successful, and you let them do their thing, I'm going to worry about other problems.
Right?
Nothing wrong with that.
Showed him a lot of just a lot of faith in his game, and it changed so many things up. And you saw the immediate impact and the turnaround. Even, hey, you need some money to go get a buy leg kicker from Australia. Go, here's your bag. Go get him. And he did.
And he did.
He gave him everything he wanted. But the fallout, it's just stirring the pot up right here. And you can't deny there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. Everyone's asking his replacement, Brett Maher, great kicker.
Great kicker.
when have you ever coached a unit at this level? I mean, you were a good kicker, but he was also on the hot seat for missing a few kicks back in the day. And probably if I'm going to put any kind of weight into this, it's the Josh Martin departure.
Okay.
Another special teams coach. He just said, "Oh, X gone, I'm gone, and I'm going to go coach high school now." Like, whoa, you're going to give up $250,000, whatever it was, to go get a high school coaching job? That's
interesting.
That's rough.
Yeah.
The optics aren't so hot on that one.
Some people are just happy, I guess, doing their own thing. But, Maurer, I found it interesting, too. He goes, I remember going 2-0 against Iowa. And I had to really pause when he said that, because why are we stirring up Iowa? Like, can we let them be? We've got our own problems.
Even in basketball, we win 24 games in a row to start off a season having a historic year, and we still can't knock off Herky, the jerk, whatever his name is, the Iowa Hawkeye.
And then we got to talk trash and build it up. There's just we have nothing to stand on this. Let's let it be. And then when we beat them, okay, let's start to build confidence. But, man, I really, that bothers me. It brings me back to Frost when he came in. He goes, they're going to have to change to adapt to us. And then look what happened. Yeah. God, that just bothers me.
Yeah, you don't have anything to lean on right now.
No.
And the fact that you're saying, the Big Ten's going to have to adjust to us. And then he follows that up a few weeks later, sitting 0-4, saying, better get us now. Like, oh, my God, how delusional are you right now? You gotta
now, tomorrow, and forever.
You got to get that win before you can say things like that.
That's right.
So anyway, I took all of this, Brett Maher, Josh Martin, and the Eckler effect. I put it into our model. And we have some betting value that came back to us.
Okay.
It's where special teams equals betting value. And the biggest crux, you could say, is the field position volatility. So new coaches, new schemes across the board. You can't deny that. I mean, rule says, keeping a lot of stuff in.
It's going to be different.
Yeah, it's got to be different. So, that's going to lead to, and has historically since the beginning of football, in 1902 or whenever it was, that your opponent's going to have shorter fields, and you're going to have worse starting position because of your special team lapses early in the season. So all these betting lines, all this value is based on the first 3 to 5 games. So what we're looking at here is the unders. So if the total is anywhere between 48 to 50, in that range, take the under.
Take the under.
Take the under. Because you're going to have drives that stall out due to poor field position, missed kicks, and when things aren't going the way Coach Rule likes, he plays a lot tighter, a lot more predictable. That hasn't worked out for him his first 3 seasons either.
Yeah, and we're going to have a new leader at QB1. I mean, there's just so many different things. That actually makes a lot of sense, especially special teams isn't helping us out.
And it's the most undervalued thing that books look at. They're really sharp, but it's still, if you're going to get a little edge, this is a great way to go about it. Secondly, a sneaky sharp play here is the opponent's over. Over for the opponents. Same reasons why short fields, cheap points, even field goals, special teams make mistakes. That just flips it on its head when there's a blocked punt or a missed field goal. You feel that momentum shift, and you just got to believe Nebraska is going to be a little more inconsistent than last year. And also, this is a point. I want to throw this out there. Nebraska was so good last year. There's really only one way for them to go. That's down.
And that's down.
That's down.
Now we're talking about special teams.
We're talking, we're talking special teams. Although you want to get big picture, and we will. Oh, boy. So with all that being said, I'm saying I'm going on record right now here in February, avoid Nebraska against the spread early. This also opens the door for some really good live betting. As soon as you see that missed field goal, have your app ready to go.
Jump on it,
Have your app ready to go because here comes the landslide. So these hidden mistakes, we've seen them over the years. They'll add up quickly to 3 to 10 points per game. And when we're trying to get Nebraska to cover, which historically they've had a tough time doing, I just see a huge amount of value, if for no other reason, just the change. I'm not saying Brett Maher's a bad coach or he's going to be a bad coach, but you can't deny the fact that there's going to be some inconsistencies and some changes coming, at least early on in the season.
Got to be expected. And in fact, for it to be February, and we're you've given us strategy here for the first few games of the football season coming in the fall. This is the WTL difference. I don't know if people are really catching on to that yet, but this is the WTL difference.
Here's an ideal betting scenario. I'll give you an example. Let's say Nebraska's playing a mid-tier Big Ten team. Let's say Minnesota, and Nebraska's favored by 6.5. Totals 52. You take that under. You take that.
You hammer the unders,
and you love that opponent. You love the opponent, Minnesota at plus 6.5, or sub in Iowa, sub in Michigan State. It doesn't matter. Pick your poison.
I was going to say there's a handful of teams there, especially conference teams, that we just can't handle anyways. Right. And then, throw in this mix.
Yeah. So I was pleasantly surprised. I'm like, okay, this is some good stuff we're getting here. With all this turmoil, he said, she said, we're actually finding the angle. Yeah.
No, I love that. I love it. And that's going to make you some money.
Get it in now.
The WTL difference.
Well, we're up against it. But let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the linemakers.com. Where we don't chase the hype. We decode it using every AI tool available. We treat every wager like an investment. Linemakers.com. We make the line so you beat the book. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.
WTL.
I'm just a big, hairy American winning machine. If you ain't first, you're last.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. You know what that stands for. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Classen, joined by
The J.O.
The J.O. hailing out of Omaha with, and the host of one of the hottest podcasts out there. I'm not even talking WTL, which we're kind of catching fire.
We're kind of catching fire here.
but laugh with me. Oh, my gosh. That is a fun follow on X. And X is like conducive for that,
Oh,
like,
it's perfect.
They let you rip it, right? Is that what they say? Full send.
Yeah, Elon, he's definitely a backer of just let it go. Just let it ride.
You haven't received any of those put Jeremy in a bikini type of repost yet, have you?
Not yet, but I'm prepared for that day.
You got the sunscreen ready to go.
I'm ready.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Well, we got to get back into one of our mini wheelhouses. That's just how fantastic WTL is and the way we're going. And it's the prediction markets. Mm-hmm. We've just been killing it with these prediction markets. It's like we're out in front of it. And like we said last week, sometimes we actually set the line, and then that platform picks it up and goes with it. So it's like we're already ahead of the game. We already have our listeners, and we already know what we're looking for. And then someone's like, yeah, I'm going to put that wager out there. Oh, we got you.
It's wild, too, because we had a heck of a football season with our player props and our best bets, and we just ran that right into the prediction markets here and haven't stopped.
Yeah, we have not. We have not cooled off, and we're just expanding, and prediction markets are expanding and expanding. You sent out that tweet over the Super Bowl money being wagered, and it's always some ungodly number like $7.8 billion. Yeah. Well, the handle in Vegas got like dwarfed like 5-1 on just one of those prediction markets. I think it was Polymarket dwarfed them like 5-1. Yeah. For as far as money being spent.
I mean, everybody's on it.
Yeah.
It is pretty wild, and it hasn't even touched where it's gonna go. That's the thing. If you think this thing is big now, like it is still in its infancy. So it really is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and CNN partnered with a prediction market, Kalshi, I think.
Did they really?
Yeah. And they're catching some flack over like, well, we don't care because they tell you the future better than we do. So
that actually makes a lot of sense because with midterms coming up and then parlaying that into the general election in a couple of years, that actually makes a lot of sense to partner with somebody like that.
It will save them some egg on their face compared to the last couple of elections. Yeah. If they just watch Kalshi, don't question it. You'll get it. You'll get it right. Yeah, you'll get it right if you do that. So let's get our wagers in here. Trades. They're trades.
These are the trades.
That's right.
Yes.
And I know you're locked and loaded.
Yes. So MLB spring training has just begun. I got my Padres hoodies on. I'm ready for baseball. The ABS system is actually being used for the first time this spring training, where you can challenge balls and strikes, whether it's the pitcher, the catcher.
Robots.
Yes. So here's the deal: will a player or coach be ejected after an ABS outcome is overturned and essentially be the first player to ever be thrown out of a game by a robot?
This is fantastic. I assume you have a pretty good over-under or idea here, a trade. And I feel like you're leaning yes.
Oh, I'm leaning yes. In fact, I think it's more not of a if, but when, and will it happen in the first week of the season? And with that, I'd say yes.
And will it be Manny Machado?
And it very well could be Manny Machado. Manny usually starts the season pretty mellow.
Yep.
It'll be when he hits that first slump in like April, and then like late April, and then that's
the robot's fault.
Yeah.
Now, so is there still going to be an umpire there? Because I saw a little bit on this, and it was obviously a fake thing on Fox Sports where it was like Cletus the robot calling balls and strikes.
So the thing is, there's still an umpire, like there always is, but he's basically just like the clerk that stands at the self-checkouts.
Yeah.
Like the self-checkouts are doing all the work, you're doing all the work, but they're there still.
So is the defense going to be like, talk to Claude? I didn't. That's not on me.
That big old, that robot dog.
Oh,
that
oh, my God.
He comes trotting out and he's
has those 240 cals on each side. And okay, yeah, it could have been a strike.
Imagine having to argue with that. That would not be, it'd be pretty intimidating.
Yeah, I don't think you want to go there, even if you're Manny Machado with that type of swing speed.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. Well, we had a pretty fun time piling on LeBron James last week, so I thought we could do some more of that. He is such a lightning rod, and he doesn't help himself in the post-game interviews. He's, in fact, he's kind of always been known as a flopper. There's a few hilarious short videos out there over how he invented the flop. Just some fantastic creators that
he invented the flop.
He went to this flop coach, and this coach is just so proud now that he's coached LeBron to this point.
It's awesome.
And with all that being said, he's actually had his number one flop of his career here in February against the LA Clippers. It even has a name, the Mona Lisa, because it was due to light contact. Yeah. And he got a flagrant one.
He did?
He did for flopping.
Wow.
So this has totally reset the market in my mind. I'm not even looking at a yes or no like what you're talking about with the umpires here in Major League Baseball. This is a how many? Like a two and a half flops a game? Because his defense has, unfortunately, he's an old guy. He's been at it for a very, very long time. So it's kind of his go-to now when he either just gets the blow-by or he goes, falls down and flops over, and gosh darn. I think it was a couple nights ago, he was rolling around on the side of the lane and like playing the Warriors, and nobody even paid attention. Like he rolled he's on the ground. Steph Curry just walking by him, teammates walking by him, just letting him roll around. Like he's in a bad spot, and that's why I think, if history helps, and repeats itself, we're looking at plus 2.5 per game down the stretch here.
I mean, it surprises me that LeBron will ramp up the flop game at his age, because hitting the floor, that's not helping that old body.
Yeah.
And this is a guy who prides himself on taking care of his body, but he's at the age where, it's breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, just before we started to record, I saw a headline that said LeBron shocks the crowd and the other team with his classic rundown block. It's like, because he doesn't do that stuff anymore.
Right.
That shouldn't be headline news.
Yeah, right. Shout out Baylor Sharman. Love doing this. He got paired up against LeBron a couple of times, and he took it to him.
He did.
I mean, that was all over my X feed. I've followed those guys in high schools or around the state for a long time. So obviously, whenever something like that happens, my feed gets bombarded by that. But give Baylor Sharman his due.
Baylor Sharman, 3 double-doubles.
Yeah.
And is starting for Boston, who is right in the thick.
Yeah.
Of the chase there in the East.
They're about to get Jason Tatum back. He's back in full. I think he just recorded his first full practice a few days ago, and he's done a couple full contact practices. They got to be the favorites. I mean, I know I'm seeing a lot of stuff, and we'll get into that in our next segment here. But people like the Thunder, deservedly so. But boy,
Boston looks good.
You watch that Boston coming out of the East. A lot to like there. So. Okay, well, I know you got another prediction for us.
Betting on celebrity breakups is a pretty hot trend right now, right?
Okay.
And here we are in football offseason. Rumors are swirling that Travis Kelce's returning to the Chiefs this fall, which, he could go either way. It's also rumored that he is going to be getting married to Taylor Swift this summer in June, is what it sounds like. I ask you, what comes first? Kelsey retires or he actually marries Taylor Swift?
Ooh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, that both is kind of up in the air. Like, nobody really knows, right?
Nobody really knows. Both are expected to happen within a couple of months of each other. I think either one of them they could swing either way in a heartbeat.
I mean, and we talked about this during the season, I think even last season, where Taylor Swift is just so famous for her breakups, like devotes entire albums to breaking up with John Mayer or whoever it is that time. And we did not want that to happen to the Chiefs because we were betting heavy on the Chiefs. We're like, do not break up with them before the playoffs, please. But now it's back around. We just can't get away from this wager.
Well, no, and that's the thing. Her last album, The Life of a Showgirl, critically didn't do that well. So, maybe a breakup's what she needs, a breakup's what he needs to get back on the field.
Those albums, they're fire.
They are.
They're fire. She whines like a teenager, breaking up with her boyfriend. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good stuff there, Taylor.
Love it.
This is topical. We love that word topical, especially for people across Nebraska right now, but in your metro areas, whether it's Omaha, Lincoln, I'll even say Grand Island, potholes.
Oh, yes.
And if you were on X or any social media or any news feed the last couple of days, you saw a pothole develop out of nowhere, swallow 2 vehicles, not one, 2 vehicles on 67th Street in Omaha. Will that happen again? And we can even get exotic with this. Is it going to be more than 2 cars next time? Because I thought, a nice starting line would have been 1 vehicle gets swallowed. No, 2. 2 went in. And if you haven't seen that footage, it's something else.
And it all happened so fast.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're not sure what happens faster with the cars diving into that sinkhole or a college football roster opening up once the trade portal's open. Like, we don't know which one's faster yet, but the sinkhole, there's got to be some type of science that once you get one, there's
right?
got to be more. I mean, it's no different than if you buy 4 appliances at the same time, they're all going to start to break down at the same time.
Yeah. And, I'm a proud American. And, that's how I live my life. I wave the flag, I drink light beer, all those things. It's not important looking into that stuff. What's important is whose fault is it? Is it Mayor Gene Stallhurt's fault still, or is it John Ewing now? And you watch the news, they're really reluctant right now. Like, do we blame her or do we blame him? And there's some obvious, struggles there. Like, I don't know if we can blame him or her on this.
Yeah, I think it's fair that's wild. Who's going to take the blame for it?
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
That's an old South Park where the beaver dam broke and Stan's like, well, let's go help those people. They're stranded on roofs. Stan's like, nah, that's not important now. What's important is figuring out
who's to blame,
whose fault it is. So I was just stealing a joke there. So.
That's great. I love that.
Heard the horn. That means we're up against it, but let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is NordVPN. Browse, work, play online with confidence thanks to world-class cybersecurity. Shield your online activities, hide your virtual location, and block everyday internet threats with NordVPN. Receive up to 77% off when using our WTL link down in the description. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.
WTL.
On a juvenile delinquent in the offseason in his major league debut. Into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Classen, joined by
the J.O.
The J.O. indeed. I felt good coming off that predictions market.
Yeah.
Those felt like locks. Like it's too easy.
I'm still trying to figure out who's to blame for the Omaha sinkholes.
Right?
Because that's really what matters here.
And there's been potholes, I think, ever since Omaha existed. Like, that's always been the complaint. So, like, who's going to clean this up? Who's going to get this right?
I know who to blame now. Big sinkholes behind this, so that we'll stop talking, or big potholes behind this, so we'll stop talking about potholes.
Big pothole.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, man. You were talking about you don't want to mess with Robo Dog, who's going to be our baseball umpire. Big pothole. That sounds like one you really don't want to mess with.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with
a
big
mob
pothole.
boss or something. So we got to get into some futures here with the NBA. We haven't talked a lot about the NBA, but things are starting to heat up right now. Mentioned the Celtics starting to get healthy. A lot of fun with the Nebraska native hailing from Aurora, Nebraska, sliding in and out of the starting lineup in Baylor Sharman. So, yeah, we got to divert a little bit of our attention here to the NBA.
Yeah, and it's been fun to watch his development, too, over the last season and a half. But he's really got himself a place with the Celtics, who just happen to be at great value right now. And you mentioned it. Their best players still to come.
Yeah.
You know, with Tatum returning to the lineup for the first time this year, you could find him to win the Eastern Conference. If we're looking at futures here in the NBA, plus money, plus 325. That's the second best odds to win the East. And they're to win the entire whole thing, plus 1,200.
Wow.
Incredible value. That's a really good basketball team.
It really is. I got three different futures I want to look at here. And the angles are highest probability, highest value with a realistic upside, and then just kind of a softer path with a little bit of a hedge, get me out of trouble type of an angle. But the one with the highest probability is the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the NBA championship. They're at a plus 120, plus 140 is about as good as you can get across all the different books out there, just showing you how dominant they really are. And it's hard to poke holes in them. They're elite at protecting the rim. Their defensive ratings always at the top. They got young guys, hungry guys that want to get after it. They also have had the lowest volatility in the futures ticket throughout the season. You know, especially the NBA, you see ups and downs and, oh, my God, guy got injured, you know, and you just see this huge shift. That has not happened to Oklahoma City whatsoever. You also have a path here where they're going to be the top seed in the West.
Yes.
Okay, so they're going to have that home court advantage through. You got the 5 games, then the 7 games. And this is a straight up, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it type of a future. That's all this is.
Yeah, it would take something to happen here for the Thunder not to be the representative in the West. I mean, coming out of their finals win last season, it was like, all right, you've got the MVP, you've got a core, a young core that loves playing there. They're all locked up. It's just a really, really good team. They have battled with some injuries this year. I mean, SGA's out right now, but he's going to be back here soon.
Right.
He's still the favorite to win the MVP.
Yeah.
So they've got the best team, even despite all of these injuries. And there was a point earlier in the season where they're like, they're going to beat the Warriors' single season win record.
Yeah.
You know, and then things catch up to them injury-wise. But this team, I mean, that's why they're the favorites. Yeah, don't overthink this.
That's what I'm saying. Just be happy with the plus 140 and go with it. You got another one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at teams here, the East, because like you were saying, the West is so, to me, it's locked in. I think we both look at the Thunder here, but not the Celtics, but the Knicks, the New York Knicks.
Oh, okay.
Okay. As the 4th best odds there to come out of the East. You can find them at plus 400, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Really good team, really hungry. They've been close, you know, the last few seasons. So they've got it. They've got kind of that experience of playing deep into playoff rounds. I like the Knicks to have a shot here. I like their value.
Yeah, that doesn't even feel like a flyer. That's just a solid, if it's not going to be the Celtics, who's it going to be?
Who's it going to be? Right. The Pistons, certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, they look really, really good.
Yeah.
But now the Knicks seem like the team.
Yeah. Yeah, I like them. They got a couple elite scorers, and they still play defense. You know, they're one of the teams out there that plays little defense.
That plays defense,
That's amazing. I know you're kind of shading the West there, but I'm going to go right back to the West. And this is the straight-up value here with the realistic upside, and that's the Denver Nuggets to win the Western Conference. You can get this for a plus 650, plus 700. We've seen them do it before. There is a huge gap between them and OKC, and that's why we have this value. And I don't expect it to happen, but I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't fall out of my seat if Jokic put one more run together and knocked off a younger team that hasn't quite got over the hump in OKC.
Yeah, and that's at his age to be able to have a break in the season and kind of get healthy for the playoff run, which he had. You look at why couldn't he make one more run, and it's still a really good basketball team.
They're going to be a high seed too. They're right up there in that second tier, you know, between 2 and 3. So they're going to have a lot of home court advantage there. I just think that's a tremendous value on a battle-tested team that we've seen cut down the nets.
Well, here's a couple of teams that are kind of in that same area in the Eastern Conference. They're probably going to play in the play-in round early on, but I like the opportunity of one of these two teams to be able to come out of that and maybe even threaten that first round there. The Magic, who have started to put some things together.
You were giving us some zingers here.
They upset the Lakers just the other night, and they just look like they are coming together here. You could find them at plus 2,500 to win the East. I don't know that they'll win the East, but I think in those early rounds, they're going to be something we look at. And then this is a team I really like, and I watch a lot just because Ryan Kalkbrenner. But the Hornets,
yes,
they have been fun.
They are.
They are
fun.
so much fun to watch.
Yep.
Bill Simmons, I know he always, every year at the Ringer, he always does his thing where it's like NBA League Pass teams or whatever. And this has been his team all season, just watching Hornets.
Well, and old Kalkbrenner, he still defends the rim, and he gets dunked on more than anybody. But I love that. That means he's still putting himself out there, going for that block, challenging everybody at the rim. It just feels like, and we saw that throughout his Creighton career. You know, how many times did he get Big East Defender of the Year?
Every time, four times.
4 years, 4 years in a row. Yeah. And he's taken that defensive presence with him to the NBA. And it's kind of, unfortunately for the NBA, it's hard to find. So here's a 7-footer that works his tail off, still a young guy, and he's going to challenge everything at the rim. I love that. Hornets. They're not the Bobcats anymore.
No, I mean, they're pretty fun as the Bobcats, but yeah. No, the Hornets, I absolutely love watching this team, and I do hope they get through that play-in and then into the first round because I think they've got a little something there.
Okay, so talked about my no-brainer, talked about my value. Now this is my softie here, and I'm putting a Nebraska theme to this.
Oh.
Okay, so this is going to be my Nebraska-themed hedge portfolio. There's 3 parts to this. Leg 1. Oklahoma City Thunder to win the NBA championship. Right now, it's kind of a 50-50 type of a bet. Your Nebraska tie-in, closest regional contender, easy narrative for that's what we want. Leg 2, this is the value here. That's the Denver Nuggets to win the Western Conference. This is your leverage bet. Is that sitting right now at about a 30% chance of happening in a lot of different models? Why it works is this: OKC slips up, we have Denver in our back pocket here. And it's probably going to be those two at the end for the Western Conference Finals, if we're not kidding ourselves. Leg 3, Cleveland Cavaliers to win the Eastern Conference.
Oh, James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Okay, so that's on the opposite side there. We talked about a couple teams out of the East that we like. This is only 20%. This is only a 20% chance of hitting here. But then we can, if we don't like that plus money bet, we can hedge against the Thunder and the Nuggets to guarantee a little bit of something out of there. And more than likely, it's going to be our Nebraska boy, Baylor Shireman, bailing us out.
I love
Shifting
that.
over to the Celtics.
So each one of these are getting a piece of the unit, or are we running those together?
It's going to be a multi-unit bet.
Okay.
And we're going to be very flexible here. And it's the NBA. I'm not an NBA guru. I trust the models quite a bit here. And I like to spread around the risk here. That's why I love the hedge. And I also love betting on the favorites like the Thunder.
Yeah, and
I like making a little bit rather than losing it all.
The NBA usually doesn't let you down when you when you do that. But the Cavaliers that really piqued my interest there because James Harden getting traded at the deadline to the Cavs, and they've been on a tear ever since.
First couple of games, he's been on a tear, like you said.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what happens once they get to the playoffs. The dynamic of everything changes when you've got something to lose. And he traditionally does not perform very well in that environment. So I'm actually really interested to see that, which is actually another reason why the Celtics would be a fun play. Yeah. Because the Cavs have a guy who traditionally fails when he gets to the playoffs.
Yep. So there's your out. There's your fun little hedge and your escape route if something doesn't work out for you. And that's just, it's good to do in all types of portfolios, right? Stay flexible.
You got to move it around.
I mean, when it's the NBA especially, like, come on now. Come on now.
Love it.
All right. Well, we're up against it, but let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Stock and Rod Company, an outdoor lifestyle brand for those seeking adventure. Whether it's hunting, fishing, hiking, they got you covered. Visit stockandrod.com to get your wild game on. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.
L.
Capitalism is the only way, Leslie. It moves our country forward. It's what makes America great, and England okay, and France terrible.
T. L.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Classen, joined by
The J.O.
The J.O. And we've had a pretty fun week. We kind of went over how good the Huskers have been performing. Took care of the Terrapins last night, 74-61. Ooh, that was a 17-point spread, though.
Oh, you got to cover.
Yeah, didn't get that cover.
You know, they tied with that win. They tied their record for conference wins in a season.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. 2 more to go still.
Isn't this awesome that we're a little upset here with just a 13-point win?
Yeah, I know. We're sitting
Isn't
like,
this
really?
great? Yeah. Like, how can't you cash in on that, guys? What's going on here?
That's kind of how I felt when they stormed the court on Nebraska too, and I'm like,
we're bearing
wow,
the lead.
What a feeling here.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a total over under of 139.5 and a point spread of 17. So typical, but I will say Nebraska didn't play their best game, and it was slow going in the first half, but they did what great teams do. They figured it out, and I think it was about at the 7 or 8 minute mark they went on a 15-3 run to close out the game.
Man, you've seen it how many times this season too from the Huskers.
Yep.
They just take care of business at the end of the game when it matters, and yeah, that's really well coached team. And hopefully, a week from Sunday we'll see that at home against Iowa.
No doubt,
And,
a little revenge game.
That would be nice.
Yes, it would. And another really positive, really good sign for the Huskers. Frager looked like he was back in form. A couple monster jams. Things weren't working out offensively. He checks into the game. Just instant offense. Leading scorer with 21 points. Leading rebounder with 8. So Frager came to play. And as it's kind of been, known to happen, he's the highlight.
Yeah.
He's the one that the Big Ten Network kind of features throughout that post-game highlight reel.
The media loves him, and the fans love Sam Hoiberg.
Yeah.
And it just brings together a beautiful partnership for Nebraska.
The coaches, the guys back in the booth in Chicago, they cannot help themselves but to just talk Sam Hoiberg,
Yeah.
And I felt bad for Bruce Weber. You remember the old coach of Illinois?
Absolutely.
He was kind of, putting old Sammy in that gym rat box, and Dave Revson's like, no, put that away. He's a good player.
Yeah.
So you're kind of leaning, George. I don't want to hear it. And he had to backwalk him. It was kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, so that would be fun to watch. And you hate to see a player that's just excelling and having a breakout season be put in the box like that.
Yeah. Give me a break. He was scoring, passing. He had all those defensive plays like he's kind of known for. So he is a gym rat, but he's evolved his game so much. So he went on a scoring run there in the second half too, when they were starting to separate. So to their point, we're big fans of Sam Hoiberg as well.
Absolutely.
Also a big fan of his father, and just on fire with some of the quotes. I know you saw that from the Jim Rome show.
When he was talking about the experts
in Iowa.
In Iowa, yeah.
Yeah. And he even touched back at when Iowa State fans got in his face, and he's like, I can't fight back because of my pacemaker.
Yeah.
But yeah, they get it with electronics, Jim Rome started cracking up. Like he couldn't even hold it together during the interview.
Oh, I love that.
Pretty good clip.
I love a coach that'll just give it back, but in a playful way.
And it was. On the flip side, let's talk a little Big East here. Unfortunately, Wednesday evening, Creighton Blue Jays got nipped in the bud once again by DePaul, the Blue Demons.
Man, it was just a week ago. The Creighton's celebrating taking care of business at UConn, and it's been all downhill since then.
Had an 8-point lead at half and let it slide, got outscored 42-33 in the second half. And we were doing our part, especially on the X handle for WTL, where we were kind of we're bagging on Dibs, the Blue Devil, the mascot, so we were trying to give him that positive mojo. I just can't believe we didn't put it over the top.
I will say that WTL did their part. I watched the first half of the game, I did not do my part in the second half. I did not watch. So I'll take this one, Creighton fans.
Okay.
I will put this loss on my back, and we'll march on.
Oh, I like that because we were talking about, who's to blame? Who's to blame? That's
somebody.
And I want to get back in that discussion. That's Omaha potholes.
Yes.
And I want to give it a proper trade value on Polymarket. So just the simple, will another car or vehicle get swallowed by a pothole again this year or not? So we got 365 days from now until today next year. So we got a whole year to work with.
I would say yes. I mean, the only thing is, I don't know the science of, does it help when it gets warmer for sinkholes? Is this an anomaly to happen in winter?
It's actually not. And if you do any research on pavement, it's like the worst stuff you can put on the surface of the planet. It doesn't absorb water. It doesn't expand and contract like what's underneath of it. So what ends up happening is water trickles underneath of it and washes it out. And there's a lot of concrete in Lincoln and Omaha right now.
So that actually makes a lot of sense. Thus the potholes, the issues. So, yeah, I mean, for sure, I could see another sinkhole taking a car or two.
Big yes. Big yes.
Yeah.
And then when that opens up, I'd be surprised if we don't see like an 80-20 type of a line on the yes.
I could see that for real.
And then the sub-market, do we blame John Ewing now?
Well, that's the thing. If we get another one, John Ewing is going to have to take the rap on that one.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Sometime you got to step up and, take those bullets. So, well, I know you got one.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We're talking about potholes and some things that haven't happened in a long time. Aliens.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Aliens are back.
Yes, they are.
In the news. President Obama had mentioned on a podcast that there's more life out there. He hasn't seen it, but there's got to be. And then after that, then President Trump had to talk about it. And he said, well, we're going to release the info because everybody's excited about aliens.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, aliens are already here. Okay. And if you need an example to have proof, Floyd Mayweather in 2026 is returning to his boxing career.
Yeah.
Like, he's legit boxing now. It's not just exhibitions, although he does have one with Mike Tyson coming up.
Yeah.
But he's got Pacquiao.
Yeah, well, and he wanted to do an exhibition, and Manny said, no, if we're doing this, we're going to do it. So are they both aliens?
So they're both, they have to be at this point, their age, their physical, like, to be at this point where they can resume their career. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's what I'm thinking. In 2027, now that Mayweather's back, I think we're going to have another guy coming out of retirement. We're going to have a mega fight in Las Vegas. It's going to be Mayweather versus Bud Crawford.
Oh, I would love that.
2027.
Oh, man, I would love that. I would love that, but I just, God. Floyd's always been really smart with who he fights and when. I just don't know if Bud has enough tread on the tires, old enough yet for him to want to do that. I think Bud would do what he always does. Just box the living hell out of him.
I would think so, too. The only thing is, Floyd's got to, at this point, he's got to realize this is probably getting to the end of the big money paydays.
Right.
Unless he's going to run this Mike Tyson, angle forever. But,
right.
Mayweather, Crawford, 2027.
That would allow him to actually have a little bit of some legit buzz. It wouldn't be the Mike Tyson shtick or the Manny Pacquiao where you guys are both 50 years older. Are they older than 50?
I think Mayweather's got to be. And that's the thing. Mayweather, if he goes and he, looks fairly good against Pacquiao, I mean, all that's going to do is start the buzz of who's next.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would love to see that happen. I would love to see that happen. I'm Team Crawford, obviously. Okay. Now here's a fun one. This has to do with the Jayhawks, University of Kansas. Okay. They are up in arms, having a good season, kind of up and down, but still really, really good. Don't kid yourself. Bill Self's got a squad. But by far and away, their best player, this freshman phenom, Darren Peterson, he just checks himself out of games.
Yes, he does.
And he goes, oh, I'm cramping, or, oh, I might have sprained my ankle. And the last couple of games that he did that on, Bill Self wasn't, shielding him anymore. He's like, I thought we were over that. I'm over it. We need him. We need him now. We need to win these games.
I think he sits at the end of the bench, too. It's like a whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, there's videos of the team celebrating the last second win, and he's just at half court watching them.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? So we're going to have an over-under of 24 and a half minutes playing time for each one of his games going out. Now, he's averaging 27 and a half minutes. He is averaging 27.5, but he's played fewer than 25 in 7 of his 17 last games.
I would hammer the under just because
you want to hit the under here, don't you?
Probably going to be trying to prepare his body for the NBA draft, I would assume, is his big vision.
You got the checkout factor. We've already gone over that.
Yep.
He loves to just check himself out. Talks about hamstring tightness, ankle sprains, persistent cramping was one that he goes up. You also got high performance versus limited time. Even though, what was that, Oklahoma State? He only played 18 minutes, but he had 23 points. So his team's like, dude, you already filled it up. You're good to go. You got yours. So he just checked himself out.
He's out.
And he's the type of player that can score in droves like that. So once he gets his number that he wants, 20, 15 points, he's out.
Wow. Imagine you could do that at your job. You're just like, I'm good. I think I've given you what I need to give you. I'm out.
I did hear that the Jayhawks have reached out to the University of Penn for some Midol for that type of an athlete. So hopefully they can get that over to him. And then he'll be able to stay in these games and be able to manage that pain.
If he's real smart,
cramps.
He'll get that NIL money out of that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Could you imagine? That would be the only player of his caliber.
To your point, he's going to get the help he needs, and he's going to get paid. Everybody wins.
Reminds me of the coldest. Remember the Husker? The coldest. Yes. For SOS Heating and Air.
Yeah. And that's an all-time example of why NIL is amazing. Yeah.
Just lean right into it, man.
Yes, I love that.
Got this Midol, and here we go.
Fantastic.
All right, that's the horn. That means we're up against it. So be sure to check us out on our YouTube channel and those YouTube shorts for each and every game day, giving you the latest edge possible. Also follow us over on ESPN Tri-City and their Facebook page. And we're always over on X having fun over there as well. For Jeremy Odem, a.k.a. the J.O., I'm Andy Classen. Thank you for listening. This has been WTL.